Las Vegas is the center of the universe this weekend for boxing fans. The fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao has been years in the making, so it's hard to believe that it's only one day away. The potential for bigger and more frequent superfires is huge, say experts. With California suffering from 5 years of extreme drought and counting, everyone in higher risk areas is being warned devastating fires could hit anytime, anywhere. Really gone too soon, Mike. And I have to share this story with you. I realized that a friend of mine here in LA, she told me just today that she dated Prince for 3 years back in Minnesota, about 30 years ago, around the time of Purple Rain. I had no idea. She shared some stories about him. She said their first date, they actually just stayed up all night at a diner and just talked all night long over ice cream. Well, Susan, first I have to say it's not as glamorous as you think it is. It's pouring down rain here. It's all tented, the red carpet, but there's actually some leakage problems, so they're trying to resolve that. But as you can see, the red carpet is jam-packed with every celebrity under the sun coming for the Academy Awards. Nothing makes us stronger than love. Research has shown that healthy, loving relationships can help build resilience for people facing stressful or traumatic situations. Love, as it turns out, can help buffer our hearts. But is a week enough time to discover love and then marry within a month of meeting? Well, we found one couple who is out to prove that rushing into marriage may not be such a bad thing. In 2012, 5 MBA students began developing an idea to address food insecurity in the world's urban slums. But it might seem a little unconventional to you. It's insect farming.
They're nicely flavored. These we sell to people to add to their cooking as they wish, so these come unflavored.
These
so
are just straight roasted cricket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I've had cricket before. I actually really like them because they're very crunchy.
They are.
Yeah.
And it's a great garnish that you can add to a salad. You can
Look at her. Amazing.
Isn't she, though?
She really is. Look at that. The experience of meeting a mammal of this size up close is nearly indescribable. And when she is one of only 5 of her kind left on the planet, that's a feeling words cannot begin to express.
Yeah, there you go.
Where do you want to go?
Class is in session here at Rancho Christian High School in Temecula, California.
I wrote beautiful dream capture.
Each of these students has something in common. They're all parachute kids, teens from overseas, mostly from China, who attend schools and live with a local family while their parents remain back home. Did you want to come to America? Yeah. Was this your choice?
Yes, it's my choice.
Why did you want to come?
Because the education is good.
A better education is the #1 reason why parachute kids come to the U.S. Their parents pay up to $50,000 a year in the hopes their kids will safely thrive. But it doesn't always work out that way. On March 30th, in the affluent town of Roland Heights, California, a group of parachute high school kids from China allegedly kidnapped another Chinese student, brought her here to this park, and tortured her for hours. The victim claims she was stripped naked, beaten and slapped several times, and even burned with cigarettes. She says they even cut off her hair and made her eat it. Nearly a dozen students were involved in the attack. 3 are in prison. Bail is set at $3 million each. 19-year-old Yu Yao Zai, Xinlei Zhang, and Yuhan Yang, both 18, are all being tried as adults. Charges include torture and kidnapping. If convicted, they could be sentenced to life in prison.
Many of the Chinese media in China, they're hoping that these kids, get life sentence to send a strong message in China or throughout the world. But as a criminal defense lawyer, I know those kids, they do not deserve life sentence because I know that, they're just also victims.
Deng says many parachute kids have been bullied in China and in the U.S. Many feel isolated and lack proper supervision.
I do have parachute kids who came to me when they are already suicidal.
Clinical psychologist Xingfang Cheng believes Chinese parents need to pay more attention to emotional well-being and not just academic success.
So I have this father who came to me. Basically, his son was just acting out because his parents are not here. He could do whatever he wants. So I tried to communicate with the parents that he need to spend more time with his son. He just simply said, no, I can't. I have to fly back the next day.
The foreign student placement business is a rapidly growing industry, but it's largely unregulated. For a fee, agencies in China will find an American school and a private family. But not all agencies are created equal. Joaquin Lim of Tower Bridge International, a sanctioned agency both here and in China, says there are a lot of unscrupulous players in China.
We have a team of people that do follow-up work at school, after school, and also with their parents in China, whereas other companies don't do that. They simply just drop the kid off here and you're on your own.
Thousands of agencies cater to the growing number of students who come to the U.S. In 2009, 1,700 high school students on F-1 visas came to the U.S. In 2014, that number jumped to more than 80,000. 15-year-old Henry Lee is one of them. He's about to start his second year of school here. His homestay parent, Joe Allen, works with Tower Bridge International. He says the welfare of the student should always come first.
I'm always asking them questions. How was school? Do you have any problems? They have to learn how to trust, okay? So, yeah, these are my kids. They can't go anywhere and do anything unless I say so or my wife says so.
Tell me what it's like to live with an American family.
I just like them so, and then they treat me well, and we eat together, and we have a good time.
Do you feel like you can share your feelings?
Yes, I can share and tell them.
But too late for the parachute kids involved in the Roland Heights attack. May Lee, CCTV, Murrieta, California.
Okay, we lived in barracks during World War II.
84-year-old Bill Shishima remembers what life was like at Hart Mountain Internment Camp in Wyoming.
So the schools, they had the prom dance.
Oh, wow.
So they selected the prom queen, but they improvised and had a cardboard crown.
Nearly 120,000 Japanese Americans were incarcerated in camps during World War II for up to 4 years. More than 60% of the internees were U.S. citizens. Half were children. Jerry Kong co-authored the book Race, Rights, and Reparation, which explores the legal, ethical, and social ramifications of Japanese internment.
We took people without any individualized determination of guilt and put them into 10 different prison camps across the country, basically just because of their ancestry.
And now there's a growing fear that history could repeat itself, given the increased hostile rhetoric here in the U.S. against Muslims. Late last year, the mayor of Roanoke, Virginia, David Bowers, cited Japanese internment to make the case against Syrian refugees. In a statement, Bowers said, "I'm reminded that President Franklin D. Roosevelt felt compelled to sequester Japanese foreign nationals after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and it appears that the threat of harm to America from ISIS is just as real and serious as that from our enemies then." Although Bowers later apologized, activists like Kathy Masaoka are astounded by the barrage of divisive language.
I mean, it's such an easy thing to say. And it's such an ignorant thing to say, because don't they know that redress passed and that the government apologized for that? That it was wrong then and it's wrong now?
In 1988, the U.S. government officially apologized for Japanese internment and paid $20,000 in reparations to each survivor. But for Bill Shishima's father, life after his release didn't include redress, only hardship.
He was 50 years old and he had 5 children to take care of yet. So he had to start life all over again. So I wish my dad got the $20,000 because he was bitter against America because he had to start life all over again. But he was long gone. So that's why I feel it shouldn't happen to anybody again.
May Lee, CCTV, Los Angeles.